say?
That's why the Bible is redundant. The Lord says things over and over because we're stiff-necked, hard-headed people.
Calm down and listen to one another. And more importantly, listen to this Bible. Right? Okay, watch this.
But in this last day, the Most High is raising up the true prophets of God.
All praise.
Question I'm asking. Like the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that has God so nigh unto them.
The laws of God is the light that we gotta let shine before men.
Read Jeremiah 10 and 1. All right, because, you know, we understand that matter of fact, give me Matthew 15 and 3. A lot of the times we do things because it's by tradition, right? So I'm pretty sure you got kids?
Yeah.
How many kids you got? You got 4 kids. What's their ages?
5.
So you got a grown up, 25. 18, 17. And say, okay, so they pretty much in their teenage to adult years. Okay, so you say, are you married? You married? How long you been married?
Like
23 years. All praises, all praises. So you and your wife, are y'all gonna do something for Christmas?
Yeah.
What y'all gonna do?
Put up a tree.
Put up a tree? Okay, so according to the Bible, right, and a lot of us may not have known this, but Christmas is a sin. Now, back in the days of, I think it's antiquity, if I'm using that word correctly, they didn't call it Christmas. The custom was the same, but what they called it was something completely different, right? But watch this, read.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 3. But he answered and said unto them, why do you also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
So Christ was talking to the people and he said, why do you transgress or break the commandments, the laws of God, by your traditions, right? Sometimes we bypass the laws of God because of our own family traditions, because of our own personal traditions that we have. We say, well, there's nothing wrong with Thanksgiving. It's nothing wrong with eating a turkey. It's nothing wrong with putting up a tree. All I'm doing is telling my kids about Santa Claus, but that's by tradition. Our people, the Israelites, these 12 tribes right here who gave birth to these people that you see on the sign, we never celebrated Christmas. We never did such a thing as setting up a tree. That was all pagan, right? Now he said, why do you transgress? Transgress means to break. Give me 1 John 3 and 4. Let's see what it means to transgress. What is sin, Joe? What is sin? Yeah, what is sin by definition? Something you do against God? Okay. Let me ask the brother right here. Hey, Yerushalayim. Hey, bro, what is sin? Yes, sir. What is sin? Okay. Are you Muslim?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you Muslim. Okay. So read this. Watch this. What's sin, bro?
Transgression against God.
Okay. Okay. Transgression again. Okay, come on.
1 John chapter 3 and verse 4. Whosoever committed sin transgresseth also the law.
So just like you said, whoever sins, you transgress the law. Read.
For sin is the transgression of the law.
So basically, the Most High is being redundant. Like y'all were right. It's when you break the commandments of God. In order to break a law, right, you would have to be applying a law. You feel what I'm saying? Like, for example, the traffic light. If you, right, take your hat off, Joe. Take your hat off, take your hat off. Yeah, there you go, all praises, bro. All praises. So like, in order to break a law, you would have to keep the law first. Like for example, I'll give you a simple example. The traffic light. When the light is red, you do what? You stop. By law, that's a law of the land. You transgress that traffic law when you run the red light. You understand? So, let's go to Jeremiah 10:1. God told us to not celebrate. Bro, what's your name? What's your name? Come a little closer, bro, because I want to interact with you. Bro, right here behind, with the Nike shirt. What's your name, bro? Marvin. What's your name again? Eric. Okay, so Joe, Marvin, and Eric. I want y'all to listen to this. You celebrate Christmas, Marvin? No. You celebrate Christmas, Eric? Oh, no? Okay, now watch this. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speak unto you, O house of Israel.
So anytime God gave us a warning, he would speak through the prophets, right? So now he's talking to the prophet Jeremiah. Is this your daughter? No. That's okay. Oh, I didn't see your fringes. All praises, bro. I didn't see your fringes. What's your name, sis? Dawn. You celebrate Christmas, Dawn? You do? You got kids? How old are your kids? 22, 23, 28, and 3. So are your 20 and your 23-year-old, are you gonna have them do Christmas with you, or are they gonna do their own thing?
We do things together.
Y'all do things together?
Yes, we close knit.
You're close knit. Okay, so before you walked up, I was bringing out how, go back to Matthew 15:3. We often do things or we celebrate these holidays because of our traditions. Now, you probably didn't know this before you walked up, and that's fine. That's why we're here to edify. Christmas, it was never ordained for us to celebrate Christmas. But it wasn't called Christmas in this time, but the custom was the same. Now watch this, read.
Matthew chapter 15 and verse 3. But he answered and said unto them, why do you also transgress the commandment of God by your tradition?
So we often break the laws of God because of the traditions that we were raised in. All of us were the same. Like, we celebrated Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter. We were there. So we don't want to make it seem as if we weren't on the other side of the sign, right? Now watch this. Go back to Jeremiah 10:1. Watch this.
Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
So as I was saying before you walked up, Sis Dawn, God will send men. He will send prophets ordained. He'll fill them with the Spirit of God. He'll fill them with the commandments so that they can go and teach the people, right? Because God doesn't come down and speak to us individually. Now, when he does that, that's called the day of judgment. And that's the day that we don't want to see, right? Now, if you're doing right and you're keeping the commandments, you ain't got nothing to worry about. But if you in sin, I don't know. You might not make it. Now watch this, read.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
So now Jeremiah is telling the Israelites, he's telling them, I'm warning you, don't learn the way of the heathen. For 400 years and counting, actually for the last several centuries, we've been learning the ways of our oppressors. I'll give you an example. 1 second. I'll give you an example. Sisters, right? We understand that the hair coloring, that's something that y'all really never used to do until the feminist movement, right? Until white women became like the European standard of beauty is what I'm trying to get at. So now, white people are on the pedestal. It's like, wow, they got the blonde hair, the blue eyes. They've set themselves up to make themselves look beautiful. When in actuality, you are the one that everybody else is trying to look like. You are the ones that got white women going to the doctors, getting injections in their behinds, getting collagen in their lips, right? Want to get the breast enhancements and stuff like that. They want to look voluptuous like the sisters. But we for centuries, we want to look like them. We want to learn the way of the heathen, right? Like, for example, the Caesar cut, right? Brother got a Caesar cut, I got a Caesar cut, he got a Caesar cut. Who was Caesar? Caesar was a white ruler of Greece. We got that from him. We wore our hair in locks. We wore big black afros that reached out.
That's right.
So Jeremiah is telling us not to learn the way of the heathen. Let's see what this custom is that he's telling us not to learn.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
When it says be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, it's talking about astrology, being into what's it called? The zodiac, the horoscopes. Don't be dismayed at that stuff. That's for the heathens to worship. Hold that. Give me that in, is it Deuteronomy 11? Where it says, I gave you the sun, moon, and stars to worship.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 14. And the Lord commanded me at that time to teach you of statutes and judgments, that you might do them in the land whither you go over to possess it.
So this is when we were coming out of Egypt, right? And he gave us the land of Israel, right? That's our land. Them fake ass Jews over there that's calling themselves Israelis, they not the people. They not the real Jews. You the real Jew. That's your land. Baltimore ain't your land. This is your place of captivity. This is where your ancestors was raised. Israel is your homeland. So when they tell us to go back to Africa, you damn right we going back to Africa. Because that's where Israel is. Read.
Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves. For you saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb, out of the midst of the fire.
So the way that I brought you out of Egypt, no, that was never done before I did it. That's what God is telling them. So now, anytime you go into a new land, you have to establish laws, right? So when Baltimore was established by Sir Lord Baltimore, right? He established customs, laws, right? Listen up, listen up, listen up. Watch this, read.
Lest you corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image.
It says, hold on now. I want you to establish commandments and laws in this land. Because if you don't, hold on, I got him off. I appreciate you. When you go into this land, I want you to establish laws and commandments. Why? Because he says you're going to what? Lest you corrupt.
Lest you corrupt yourselves.
Because if you don't establish laws and commandments, you're going to go what? To the way of the heathen. You're going to learn Thanksgiving. You're going to learn Christmas. You're going to learn Easter, right? You're going to learn to worship this false image of Christ, which is not in the Bible. Read.
Lest you corrupt yourselves and make you a graven image.
Then you start to make graven images like that white image of Jesus that's on the cross. That's a graven image. That's an idolatrous image. Read.
The similitude of any figure, the likeness of male or female.
This is the commandment: thou shalt have no other gods before me. On the land, in the earth, don't make no image to worship. You can have images in your house, as long as you ain't worshiping them, you good. Read.
The likeness of any beast that is on the earth. The likeness of any winged fowl that flieth in the air.
Jump to 19.
Verse 19. Unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven.
Listen up, it says, lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven. Sister in the black, what's your name? Come closer, sis. We going over Christmas. You celebrate Christmas? Not really? You got kids? You don't have kids? Okay, all praise. Watch this, read.
Unless thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven, and when thou seest the sun and the moon and the stars, even all the host of heaven, shouldest be driven to worship them.
So what we're going over is, we're going over the custom of Christmas. Now, back during that time, it wasn't called Christmas, but the custom was still the same. So the reason why we're in Deuteronomy 4:19 is to show you that the customs that we learned from people that are outside of this tribe. I want you to examine this chart right here. I want you to tell me what tribe your father is from. He's from Judah, so you would be from, you're an American black. So therefore you are an Israelite. So guess what? Salvation is for you. The laws of God are for you and Joe. So now we're going over Christmas. Have you ever celebrated Christmas at all? Okay, we have too, right? Now watch this. Go back to Jeremiah 10:1. Now like I said, the custom of Christmas has always been around. It was never called Christmas though, right? Read. Start at verse 1.
Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
You are Israel. What's your name again, sis? Tierra. So Tierra and Joe, y'all are Israel. Y'all are of the house of Israel. Read.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen.
We just read, don't learn the way of the heathen. Read.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And all heathen mean is nation. Don't learn the ways of these other nations. Don't worship the sun, moon, and stars. Don't be into are you into horoscopes? You can't do that, sis. That's called witchcraft. I want you to understand that. When our sisters and our brothers go into horoscopes and zodiac signs, that's a form of witchcraft. That's a sin. You got to stop that, sis. Read.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Because that's for the Chinese man, that's for the Arab man,
Right.
that's for the African man, that's for the white man.
Right.
Let them do all that stuff.
Right.
Read.
For the customs of the people are vain. For
It
what?
it says for the customs of those people that I just named, they're vain. They're good for nothing. It don't profit you nothing to worship a tree, because that's what you're doing. You're actually worshiping Nimrod when you celebrate Christmas. I don't have my two Babylons, but that's actually the worship of Nimrod. Nimrod was an actual man that walked the earth that tried to basically revolt against God. You remember the Tower of Babel? He was the orchestrator of all of that. They tried to literally build a tower up to God. They tried to fight God. And that's when God confounded all the languages, because at one point, all of us did speak one common language. That's why you got Chinese, Patois, French, German. You got all those different languages. Read verse 3 again.
For the customs of the people are vain. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
This is Jeremiah. This is thousands of years ago. So Jeremiah is seeing people going to the forest, cutting out a tree. What custom do you associate that with today? Christmas. But he didn't call it Christmas. It was called something else. But the custom is still the same. He said, don't do it. Read.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest. The work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
Because those forest trees, those are big trees. You need an actual axeman to go down and chop them down. Right? Read.
They deck it with silver and gold.
Hold up now. Hold up. It says they do what?
They deck it with silver and gold.
So when they cut this tree out of the forest, they deck it with silver and gold. What is that? The little Christmas balls, the little string you put on, right? You throw little popcorn strings on it, you throw lights on it. That's Christmas right here. They even got a Christmas song called Silver and Gold. Y'all know that song? We know these Christmas songs. Donny Hathaway. I gotta turn that thing off, because you'll start singing it.
Right.
Real live. You go to the CVS, I guarantee you they got Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer playing right now.
Right.
It's a sin. Christmas is a sin. Because you know what? You know what I find funny? Is that some people, they'll say, oh, y'all believe in a black man that's gonna come out the sky? Yeah, what's different between that and you believing in a fat white man with 8 reindeer that's gonna come through a chimney with a big ass red bag of toys?
Right.
How is that different?
Right.
You teaching your kids that a fat white man is gonna fly around with 8 reindeer in one night,
Right.
and deliver toys to billions of people in one night. But y'all getting on us because we believe in Christ?
Right.
That's called witchcraft here. That's called witchcraft, Joe. We've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, tricked. Read.
They deck it with silver and gold. They fasten it with the nails and with hammers, that it move not.
That's called your tree stand. You put the tree in the little tree stand, you tighten the screws, you put water in it so that the things won't fall off.
Right.
That's Christmas. This is the book of Jeremiah. Why are they not teaching us this in the Christian church? Because the Christian church, they teach you that Christ was born in the wintertime. He was not. Give me Luke 2:42. He was born in the springtime. Understand that. Christ's birthday is not December the 25th. I repeat, his birthday is not December the 25th. He was born during the Passover. We celebrate the Passover during the spring. When you look at the trees right now, the trees, they still got leaves on them.
Right.
But as time goes on, when it really starts getting cold, those leaves are gonna fall. Right? So when you in the winter, everything is dead. The trees are dead, the grass is withering away, the animals are not even out. But when springtime rolls around, guess what starts to happen? The trees start to bud, the grass starts to grow back again, the plants start to grow.
Right.
The geese, they fly down south for the winter to be warm, they mate, they come back. You see all geeselings and stuff walking around?
Right.
That's when life starts to spring back on earth. Watch this, read.
Luke chapter 2 and verse 41. Now his parents went to Jerusalem every year at the feast of the Passover.
It says Christ's parents, Mary and Joseph, they went to Jerusalem every year for Passover. Read.
And when he was 12 years old, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast.
It says, and when he was 12, they went up to Jerusalem after the custom of the feast, which is Passover. So this verse right here proves that Christ was born around Passover time during the spring, not winter. Go back to Jeremiah 10:3. Christmas is of the devil. When you examine the word Santa, it's basically Satan. They just switched the letters. You ever notice that?
Yeah.
You notice that? It's basically Satan. It's not Santa Claus, it's Satan Claus. It's the devil. Read.
Jeremiah chapter 10 and verse 3. For the customs of the people are vain.
Matter of fact, verse 4, I'm sorry.
Verse 4. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
Read on.
They are upright as the palm tree.
Because back then, they used to cut down palm trees. Now we cut down the forest tree. It's the same custom. Read.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
It says, but they don't speak. Why? Because the spirit, they believe that the spirit of Nimrod was in the tree. When Nimrod died, they made him to be the Trinity, right? They made him to be Trinity. Nimrod, his mom, and Tammuz. That was the original Trinity. That's where the Christian church got it from. When you look at the crucifix, show me the Catholic crucifix. Yeah, watch this, the IHS. All of that, it stems from idolatrous Nimrod's worship. Watch this, I want him to get this image up for you. Read that again. Verse 5.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
They don't speak. Why? Because it was told to you that if you don't put gifts under the tree would attack you and kill. Yeah, that was the custom, sis. That's why we put gifts under the tree now. That's where we get it from. But we don't tell the kids, oh, if you don't put a gift under the tree, it's going to attack you. We flip it. We say, oh, if you go to bed, you put some cookies and milk out for Santa Claus. 1 second. 1 second. This is what we got to deal with in our neighborhoods. Show them that. You see that IHS? That's Egypt. What is it? It's ISIS, Horus, and Set. All of those were false idolatrous gods. Go ahead, read that.
The cross is thought to have originated from the ancient Babylonians before it spread to other parts of the world, such as Syria, Egypt, Greek, Latin, India, and Mexico. It was later adopted by the Christians.
It was later adopted by the Christians. So that sentence right there just proved that Christianity is pagan.
That's right.
It's everything that they did that you learned, they learned it from another ancient, just idolatrous people.
Right.
Read. 5.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go.
It says they must needs be carried because they can't walk. You got to carry that tree to your car and tie it to your roof. Read.
Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil.
It says don't be afraid of that tree because like I was explaining to you, the custom was, or the belief was, if you didn't give gifts to that tree, that the tree would come alive. The spirit of Nimrod would enter into the tree and attack you. That's why Jeremiah said don't be afraid of that. Don't worry about that because it can't do no good. It can't do no evil. It's vain. Read.
Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
Neither is it in them to do good.
We used to scream black power while Heron was pushed. But at the end of the day, nothing's in vain. IUIC has been given a vision. The tents of Judah has risen. Many has attempted the mission. Minor murmuring, omitting, and missing the mark. Just reading that he had the flame of fire in his eyes gave us the spark. We on Paul's mission. We out on the road, purple and gold. From Mexico, Cuba, Haiti, Ghana, Sierra Leone. 144,000 boots banging, concrete crackling. These are how men repented at heart. The scriptures is proof. IUIC, we deliver the truth.